Everybody, this is Bo back in the Sports Lounge. We're going to go all the way out to Chicago, get a chance to talk to Elmhurst College head football coach Tim Lester. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for taking the time with us today.
I've been looking forward to it.
You know, after our last interview last season, we got a lot of people calling about you and kind of your mannerism as the head football coach and how well you represent. But you also have ties to the Michigan area.
Yeah, I played at Western Michigan, so obviously I'm very biased to them, and played there, coached there, a lot of good friends there, and it was a great time there. It's been fun watching. I think this will be my final year of kids that I recruited. I think they're all seniors this year. Of the last time I was there, maybe some of them are juniors. So it's fun watching kids. You know their families, and you got to coach them, and hopefully they can have another good year. They had a great one last year. I flew down to Texas for the bowl game, and it was fun.
You know, the nice thing, too, Coach, that you just don't really talk about a lot, but it's out there on the Internet. It's also on Elmhurst College website. The credentials that you've built at Western Michigan and across the nation. Your records aren't just local. It's a national record that you had. You were the best quarterback in your years at Western, not only at Western but across the nation. And we're talking about Peyton Manning. We're talking about other coaches across the Roethlisberger. You've got so much impressive background that you bring to that program, but how were you able to really accomplish those numbers at Western Michigan?
You know, it was a really weird time. I think the number was 4. I would think I was fourth when I finished in NCAA history and yardage, and obviously the game has changed now. I don't even know what I am anymore, but I'm assuming I've dropped with the adding of. That was back when we only played 11 games. Now they play 12, and they stop the clock between first downs, and the games are longer and more exciting now, in my opinion. But you know, I think Coach Cubitt, who's now the head coach at Western Michigan University, was a huge part of that in helping us, understand what was going on. And we weren't the most athletic team in the world, but we were pretty smart. I think Coach Cubitt was kind of on the front edge of some of the spread offense thinking. And now everyone does it, so it's not really what we do isn't so unique anymore. But at the time, it was some of the concepts we were running were different than a lot of people, and we just studied. I think we went into every game pretty squared away on what was going to happen and tried to outthink people. And obviously the one thing that hurt me, obviously trying to play with those guys. Those guys are great guys because Pennington was my main arch nemesis coming out, and we were as player of the year of the league every year. It was me and him, and he won it every year. And at the banquet, but he was always a really nice guy, humble guy. I really liked him, and but they were 6'5", and I was maybe 6'1", but I'm happy. I mean, all those guys that are coming out of the MAC quarterbacks, and I know, we talked about Hiller off the phone, and he's the one that I recruited that I really. I'm a big fan of, and I'm hoping he can be the next one that can go on and make some noise on Sundays instead of just Saturdays.
The other thing going for Western, even in the days when you were playing, even before then, it was kind of a silent killer for programs. A lot of programs in-state realized Western's pros, how strong they were, what kind of athletes came out of the program. But on the national scene, it seemed like you crept up on people and surprised them a lot. We're like, where in the heck did this team come from? Even in this day and age of video, we still hear about programs and even pro programs that may not have looked at a video because they're just making some rapid assumptions on the athletes and who goes there, because Michigan and Michigan State are the big names out here, obviously, but then you've got Western, Central, and Eastern Michigan that tend to surprise, and Western has surprised a lot more teams than not.
Yeah, it's really if you don't know about Kalamazoo, and like I told you, I'm very biased, but I mean, the facilities are phenomenal when you're being recruited, as far as the atmosphere of games, the amount of just the amount of population you have in that area that come out and support it, and then obviously the locker rooms, the weight room. It's a top facility wise in the country, and therefore that as long as you get the right coaching staff in there, which I think they have, that turns into great athletes. Top athletes. They had a bunch of high draft picks this year. I think 3 of their 4 DBs are in the league now from this year that we recruited our first year there, and so I mean it's a heck of a place to recruit. And kids, and the biggest thing, the most important thing that people keep forgetting is kids are getting smarter. I don't care what anyone says. kids do not all of a sudden want to go to Michigan and be the seventh DB they've taken anymore. Back in the day, if Michigan offered
That's
you
right.
to Michigan, period.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Notre Dame's the same way. Nowadays, kids are smarter. They understand that you can go somewhere else. It may not be the biggest, but if you go there and get on the field for 4 years and have 4 years of film to show the NFL scouts, you can get drafted just as high, if not higher, than when you're sitting on the bench, behind 2, 5, 6 chip or 5-star All-Americans, and you're a 4. You probably should go somewhere where you're going to be on the field. And I give a lot of credit to the guys that are making those decisions to go to schools where they can play.
Coach, you say that, and it's true. We've got Eric Stokes in the Detroit area that played at a D3 program. He played in the NFL 5 or 6 years. Then you got Ron Bellarmine out of Michigan. He played, 5, 6 years in the NFL as well. And it really, the scouts are going to find you wherever you go in these programs, whether you want to be pro or not. But we're going to change ships now. You've got an awesome story at Western Michigan. You got Tim Hiller, who's really knocking on the door of the NFL. The NFL obviously knows who he is from all the reports we see. But you've got some nice things going on at Elmhurst right now. You've got some athletes right there that have been growing up a little bit with you within your program. And who are those guys that are really coming forward this season in the, I guess, off season, if there is really one in the college football these days? But who are those individuals help pulling your program together and maintaining the course?
Well, it would be for us here at Elmhurst. It would be an interesting year. I mean, I got the job last year. Right when we talked, I got the job. Oh, should have said it. Today's the 15th. I got hired 1 year ago today. And had about 2 or 3 weeks to get ready for camp, and so we kind of threw it together. The seniors did a good job, and so this will be the first year of being able to coach the recruits that we recruited. We have the biggest recruiting class that they've ever had here coming in, but we're going to need to rely a lot on our leaders, and Randy Wright is probably our number one. I mean, he's first team All-American. He'll be one that in a year or two will have a shot. If he can make it, he can make it. But we've been having scouts already contact us about him. He's a transfer from Holy Cross. He's our middle linebacker. He's first team preseason and he really sets the tone for the defense. And as many, even as quarterbacks know, great defense is the best thing you can have. So he'll be a leader that we can. And other than that, I mean, we're going to be young at quarterback. We lost that, and we're going to be trying to find our identity a little bit on offense. But we got a couple veterans back. But the main guy that I think everyone's going to watch when we're on the field is number 6, and that's Randy.
From that position that you're talking about, and Randy's experience, coming into it, you look at the 2 different school setups that you've been part of, and we realize that this is really the first year you get a chance to coach these kids. But I think through what you've been speaking about with them on the field and off the field, you probably have a lot of students that are really grasping hold of what you're talking about. I mean, when a regular coach shows up that doesn't have the stats that you had as a quarterback, when you step into those, the ring, and you get a chance to outline the X's and O's, I think a lot of those guys are going to pay attention a little more, especially after the first year and what you did to this year. I mean, your schedule you had last year, you did very, very well for yourself. You say you sort of threw it together, but you did that in the right way. It looks like, especially off the field, you've got a lot of people succeeding in the classroom as well.
Yeah, I mean, we are probably the one place. I mean, having come here, and our team GPA is at a 3.15, which is a huge rarity in college football. I mean, the goal for all college football teams is about trying to get to 3.0 as a team, and everywhere I've been, they've been close. But that's kind of the goal, the unattainable that everybody tries to get to, and we're well above that. So, I mean, these kids did a great job. We they'd been stuck on 6 wins when I was hired, and they were waiting for trying to get 7. And obviously we went 7-3 this year, and was more wins than they've had here in 25 years. So obviously people around here are pretty excited. I mean, I'm excited about bringing in some more talent. I thought that our kids did a great job last year maximizing the potential we had. Our job is to bring in guys that have more potential, and then get them to maximize it. And we're also, we had a lot of injuries last year that we were able to play through. We had the only all-conference kid we had returning last year was Blake Veldheis, a receiver out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, actually. And
I saw that. He
got hurt for the year, never even stepped on the field. So he'll be back for his 6th year, or his final year this year, but he's going to play. So we're excited to have an all-conference kid back on offense, at least an all-conference kid 2 years ago. But the kids believe in what we're doing. They were pretty excited when we won more than they've won in a while, and we got to build on that.
Absolutely, Coach. Want to say thanks for showing up and being so strong. We're going to ask if we can give you a call another month to start breaking down camps and actually break down the X's and O's, what you're going to try to do this year.
Well, we will be here. I look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Hey, guys, that was Tim Lester from Elmhurst College.